sort of...
We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Starting!
Every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
France is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes?
Whoa.
The people
Ah.
never happy.
Yeah.
Never enough.
Good. It's great. Well, clean.
I cannot
My name is
believe
Profile.
you.
Said enter profile name. I didn't know what else to do. It just told me, and I said, sure, alright, bet. Let's play.
Are you...
This is really hard to, like, just look at the camera when I'm, you know, trying to figure out, what? Adverts? Okay, so, broadcast. No That's it, guys. I guess the stream is over. Where? No broadcast. What?
saying that advanced...
I said play, I didn't say
pure
profile.
death.
Enter game.
Jog off.
The game name? Fucking game name. What else do
We're
you
still
want
vassals,
from me?
slaves, we're just in prettier
There you go. The
cages.
game name is game name.
We're only getting started.
Non-broadcast cancer off. Viewers are
Good
very
evening,
forgiving.
I'm Megan.
Intern.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes.
Less
Our
challenging.
main headlines tonight.
Non-broadcast mechanics are less demanding. Recommend about
Every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Showrunner, a real challenge. Non-broadcast mechanics are more
What a wild ride.
frequent.
this
Stop
has been.
watching. Let's go intern. TV guys, we're watching.
That's all
TV,
coming up on
guys.
tonight's National Nightly
You
News.
can barely hear the damn TV. Here from this shitty ass desk because I don't have. Not for broadcast. Make it blue. Make blurry. Not sponsored. My nose. I think I'm sick. Space bar to apply a bleep. Alright. You see the display above the bleep button. The time syncs perfectly. I love timing. I love my timing. I have autism. It's the best thing for me. Timing everything, getting everything correct. That's what I do. At least I try. Sometimes it backfires, but you know. Okay, there's a lot. Turn right. Bro. Not Sony Walkman, bro. Who are those? No, who are those? Are them my friends?
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up,
All right,
so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards
I
towards all
don't
those
need to.
screens.
I get it, I knew,
Right,
but I'll
look up
figure
at the
it
top.
out like every other
That
job.
coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up
Okay, maybe I do need your help.
and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's
Okay.
what the viewers are seeing at home.
It can go
It's
down,
only a couple of
and you just,
seconds
like,
behind
click.
the master screen
You
there
go
in the
up,
middle.
I go down.
That's
I
the
don't know
one
how to
you
control that.
control.
I'm gonna be bad at
Now,
this
the
stuff.
four
Sorry,
small
only fire me.
screens on the
I'm gonna fail
left show the different
tremendously.
signals coming from the studio. And you can choose
You cannot
between them
trust-
using the numbered buttons
against me.
on the
You
vision
cannot trust
mixer
an
at
autistic
the
person
bottom
when they
left.
make facial
Don't
expressions.
worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left.
Oh, you meant in game? Why does it have to
These
be A?
plugs control everything in the
I
studio.
use arrow-
I've left them set up for
No, I
you,
don't
so
have to
provided
lie.
you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once
Okay,
you've got
this
the
is
power
bad for
on,
my
face the
ADHD
front
part of my
again.
brain. Another fan.
the trip switch back off. There's no power.
He's like, what the
You
fuck
can
are
see
you
on the
doing? I'm like, I'm
broadcast
doing what I
screen
want
that
to
we're
do,
in the
idiot.
end titles for the show before
There's
us.
no behind, right?
Fortunately, they
Hey,
go
who's
on
over
for
there?
fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk.
Censor, keep censoring. Look under the desk. Wait, what? Are you? I have to
You
look
can see a
down.
load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts.
No.
Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that,
Crazy
look up to the
now.
front again.
No. Fuck, I messed it up. Already got it wrong. An undiscovered holiday gem for those on a tight budget. There's nowhere else. Wow. You're welcome. Alan James is coming soon to a medium-sized hall near you.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me cry.
Right, quick as you can. Select screen one.
Censor, got
Every
it.
day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next thing is going to be the threat of the news titles.
Okay, let's not do that.
There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well.
Where?
Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys honest Andy's totally independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat.
blind.
Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic victory.
Right, button
That's all
two.
coming up on
It's a
tonight.
bit early there, mate.
National News.
Next thing is the throwback to Jeremy with button one when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Okay.
Seriously, that prick Blunderclatch on election night?
Yeah, Megan.
Oh, he's a bloke with no democracy. He's shutting his cornflakes.
Yeah, but he's hot though.
I suppose so. You know what to do.
I don't know
10
what I'm
seconds,
doing.
everybody. Your fragility is leaking. Going in
Oh.
5.
Here it comes. Switch to screen one. Now.
But first,
Screen one, Jeremy.
decisive win
Fuck.
to advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your
Gonna
eyes
punch
on the
the
machine at the
freaking
bottom
screen,
right.
fuck.
Use that slider that's
Slimy
flashing
fuck.
or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down,
want?
keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have
Please
accused him
don't.
of a severe lack of actual
Why? It's
policies
not working.
and of being deliberately
hello?
vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right,
Jeffrey
it's going
Griffith
well.
has
All you've got to do
been-
now is
fuck did
play
I
the
just,
advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the
should not have
advert.
hired
When
me.
it reaches zero,
I suck.
press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on
I
the
like that
clock.
sound. I like
the
that
co-leader's
sound.
acceptance speech.
And 3,
That's all coming
2,
up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy. Running late.
Oh, I thought to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. That's all right, he doesn't remember.
I'm comfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
No.
Wicked. We've made it to the
I
first
suck.
ad break. You're doing great,
No,
mate.
I'm not.
But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to
Let's
keep
just
things
censor the
interesting.
whole ad.
A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's
Best
3
part of the
good
game.
rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to
Go fuck
start.
yourself.
Try and stay ahead, mate.
Why I don't like talking. Or
We're
die.
coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Counting in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage
I
and
can't
screen.
see any of it.
Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to
Shop
Blunderclatch
Box
on screen
and
3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
I can't
movie, which
see
is called
shit.
The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several...
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
I said to Peter...
Lovely, now back to Thunder Twat.
Right, this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Get back to who's
Absolutely right.
talking.
A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring
Get on the
role
speaker, mate.
when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but...
Too long on this, mate.
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention
They're
it.
not
but
the one
I really
talking.
am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the...
Cut back to the person talking.
I do it for the
fuck
people
up,
that
how
I
about that,
inspire. The little people.
Get back to who's
But
talking.
most of all, I think I do it for the positive change.
I know, I
that
was
can bring
on
about
him,
in the
you
world.
fucking...
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. Looks like What in the do you coming make few of months. this historic...
Get on the speaker, mate.
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's
Too long on this, mate.
difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it
They're
comes
not
to
the one
politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lodds Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
And
Go
we're
to the
out.
film clip, screen 1.
Oh,
God, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nolans, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
See, this is why you're single.
Jubbly, mate. Next, we're going to change the
What is
amplitude.
going on?
Same as last time.
The
Middle
game, I don't know
joystick
if
or
I'm
hold on
supposed
to the
to be
middle
like this.
mouse,
I
and
can't
this
see
time
shit.
push upwards.
Did I do something wrong? Like, push upwards? What?
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the...
Bloody perfect, mate.
What do you mean perfect? What am I even doing? The game, I don't know if it's supposed to
At
be
the
like
end of
this,
the clip,
but
you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
bro. Ow.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this.
Can't see shit.
2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm, and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
And with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural test, isn't it time you're
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep. Cut back to the person talking.
What a day.
They said we couldn't do it. They said we couldn't do it. Every day they low down lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. For you, the people.
Get on the speaker, mate. You're bleeping normal stuff.
Coarser than the grain.
I don't know what's going on. They want to see fucking next exit Advance
Let's be honest,
HQ.
who can blame Peter for
Why
saying
am I getting? Why is it
throughout the
going on?
campaign, you've heard us say that advance are not a political party. Advance are not a political party. That's what you have when things are going well. That's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. When the country is suffering, you need a team. A team that can change
It's
things.
in the green. It's still in the green.
Day one of a new future. Day one of a better future. Fairer.
I am fucking done.
So perhaps we should all
This game is
celebrate it.
broken.
So perhaps
Except for
we
the
should all
rich.
celebrate it.
For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shit in pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks on and opening their
Again,
dusty
colourfully
checkbooks.
put. Again, colourfully not inaccurate. But
It just keeps
not
moving.
inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Affluent Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country whose wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting, a simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. Earlier today, we revoked you want them back. You want to leave like you threatened before the election. That's fine. First, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals
fuck
to
up.
properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have
I'm
to
trying to
raise
fucking listen.
billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed
You're so annoying.
ferret shite.
Too long on this,
So
mate.
for you
You're
guys,
blaming normal stuff.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve and drinks in their
That's
private
not swear
clubs,
word.
the people whose children you raise,
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you. Advance have this to say to you. We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today. It ends.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always
Go back to the
been.
person.
In the hands of the people who created it.
If you could get rid of the announcer, maybe I could actually
Get back to
say.
us talking.
It ends today. It ends and tomorrow we'll start making it fair again.
Get on the speaker, mate.
Just like we promised we would. Just
And
like
until
we
then,
promised we
ladies
would.
and gents,
Didn't see the fucking
I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with
Too
that.
long on this, mate.
Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language.
Something wrong. I did something wrong. I fucked up.
As the country braces itself for new government, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful
Not really got the hang of it, have you? I suggest you get some practice in, have another go, that sort of thing. I wish I could help you more, but I'm out of here. This country's fucked, mate. See ya.
There's some weird fever thing, and I'm dying now.
So lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Deals are unreal. You've got people coming over at Christmas. You've got Nan. She's going to leave a stain on the sofa. You don't want her sitting on this white sofa. She's going to have to sit on the dark sofa. This is the deal.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well
I
the
hate you,
broadcast
Dave.
went.
Everyone hates you. Nobody loves you. Get out of here. Stop talking. My ears are bleeding.
They keep the boss happy.
I
If you
don't
want to
care.
know more about how it went, select more info. If not,
I
select
already
continue
know
to
I
move
did
to the
shit,
next
but you
page.
are in my ear every flipping second. I can't even hear myself even breathe.
Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much
Broke ass.
overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial
broke
state
ass.
of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares. You're a cleaner, for God's sake, so why would you care?
Shut the fuck up.
This is the last page, and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks.
This game sucks.
Alright, mate, welcome to the
Shut up, I'm
archive.
saving
This
Glenn.
week,
Let me
I'll
out.
have a
Let
quick
me
look
out.
back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections, broadcast rushes and
They won't
adverts.
even let
Let's
me
start
say.
with broadcast. Click on it now.
No. Let me leave.
Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson...
Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global mega-corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chap. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic victory. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
30 seconds back.
Showed him drinking. Janky ass.
Seriously, that prick blonde o'clock on election night?
Yeah, Megan's...
The bloody democracy, he's shutting his cornflakes.
Yeah, but he's hot, though.
I suppose so, if into oxygen thieves.
10 seconds, everybody. Your fragility is leaking. Going in fast.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change. But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary Geoffrey Jeffreys has issued a statement in which he comments that we have all been seduced by the shiny wrapping paper, but have yet to see the contents of the box. Sounds like break. Megan Wolf will be speaking to a man whose grapes certainly aren't sour, the international heartthrob and inexplicable box sensation, Lawrence Blunt. Later in the programme, we'll be going live to Advance HQ, a co-leader's acceptance speech. That's all coming up after the break.
Wow.
I'm Alan James. This is not a movie. This is not some child's tale. This is not a dream. This is reality. This is the story of you and how you're stupid and asleep. What? It's about how you were promised the Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the salty crumbs. It's happening here. It's happening now. And it's all happening right in front of you. I'm Alan James.
Alan James is one of the country's most controversial columnists and speakers.
And they're going to take your Wall Street Grandma, and you're never going to see those dribbling dentures again. Oh, Grandma, look at their faces. That's not what cows look like. You call it the stock market. I call it the stuck market, because it's just another pole they've stuck up our collective... I don't care if he was once your nephew, Cameron. He's standing in the way of the truth!
Now, Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, is coming to your city.
Stay away, stay far away, please.
Author of
Stay out of
Alan
my
James
city.
is
Get
Right.
out.
The Gospel according to Alan James. And the Alan James shall set you free. And now I'm bringing my message directly to you. With my new nationwide tour, Alan James is Right, in front of you.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Alan James.
Alan James is right.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Coming to a city near you. Check local press for dates and times.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first off, Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare to the Shotbot films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blundercatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the greatest joys of my life.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Bless you.
So you've just finished filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful.
What the fuck was that?
I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. a love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. Often, that's how it feels, doesn't it?
No,
Doesn't it? Bleeding.
He's philosophical.
Giving.
I'm glad I caught that.
Suffering
She's like,
for one's
"Pardon?
audience.
The fuck are you talking about, man?
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
Wow. The world
And
positive.
today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very.
Shut the fuck up. What? Hold on, go back.
It's in my contract.
Stuff. Let's take a look.
And we're out.
Rob, get in the car. We're out of here.
Mr. Bl-
What?
I don't understand it.
Rob, get the car.
Doctor.
You don't know the half of it. Rob! I'll be at the Dorset. Send up a bottle of scotch and a whole ham. It's in my contract.
I'm sorry. I just...
Nolans, we mustn't.
Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
See, this is why you're single.
No signal. Just gonna say that this is why you're single. It's just like, and I just cut off the entire TV. I'm like, fuck that. This is why. This game is funny, but I don't see
This formula, this is the key.
the formula. Bro, Plankton found the formula, guys. Oh no, it's reckoning day.
Sandy beaches, clear waters, and fine dining. Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Taint, we've got a big hill and the bus comes twice daily.
Okay.
Visit picturesque St Bumley this summer and experience a holiday that's simply unlike any other. Come and visit the abandoned spade factory. Your kids will love exploring the old production line in relative safety.
No,
Grab your tetanus shots and come down today. There's no gift shop, but feel free to grab an old handle from the skip out the back. Or why not indulge your cultured side and visit some of our sites of historic interest, like the parish church, currently the subject of a thrilling police investigation, the old market, home of the fairly big cabbage, or the hole. Hey, that's a nice hole.
Fucking just throw children in there at this point. Fuck them.
And after a long day exploring Bumley, you can relax in comfort in one of 2 communal tents. Or you could take advantage of our famous nightlife. There's a radio in the calf, or on Fridays we gather to watch tramps fight. Come on, Harold, you scruffy old meth head. Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your family went Bumley way? And hey, if you come in the dry season, you've got a car park. St Bumley, on the Taint, naturally.
Go fuck yourself. Please send no cards by post. The only post box. Nightly news.
Welcome back. And we can now go live to advance headquarters where the 2 leaders Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury are about to make their acceptance address.
What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people... You saw right through Vibratory pints makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things.
The dream. Is the game, what is the game? It's a game, well, did the game just crash on me? Well, that was it, guys. Wow, the game. I don't know what the fuck